Hello, friends. So, do you struggle to embody emotional resilience? So, let's be honest. We're 18 months into a pandemic at the time of this. It might really feel like a resilience feels very overwhelming, and I hear that from my high achieving women. You're like, how can I practice that? How can I even feel that with all the change that we've had to navigate over the last 18 months? I'm here to tell you that it actually is possible, and to make it simple is really one of the keys to having it be possible for you right now. So I'm going to tell you a little story about how long it took me to start to build in some practices that really helped me with resilience, to give you a sense of why I recommend doing it in really short bursts through the day or one time per day. So I, for many years, led a course where we meditated every day for 40 days. And we built up from 5 minutes to 30 minutes. And by the end, you're doing 30 minutes twice a day. So this is like a pretty time consuming meditation practice and affair. And so when I was doing this, I actually found like I would do it for all 40 days. And maybe the 41st day, I would do 15 minutes and then I would stop. And I did this for 5 years. Like for 5 years, I didn't have a meditation practice outside of this program. And so one year I decided, I'm like, this is so funny, Nicole. Like, why can't you do this thing that is helping you feel so grounded and feel so steady and so capable of handling your day every day, right? And this is where the mind gets really funny. And so I decided I'm just going to make it super simple and make it super easy and just do 10 minutes. That's it. Just 10 minutes per day and see how I feel. And even if I don't want to do 10 minutes, I might even do 5. But I really gave myself permission to just do 10 minutes. Guess what? I kept going. So I started doing 10-minute meditations every morning. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I've been doing it ever since. And so really here, I want to tell you that it's possible for us to start developing habits and practices in a 10-minute chunk that help you feel resilient. And so this is an important thing. And what I work with and what I recommend for people is to start to look at how can I just do something once per day that is 10 minutes, that is something that helps me ground, helps me connect, and doing something for myself. And that's it, right? No phones, no distractions, nobody else is involved. This is something that is just for you. Most of my clients, we work with it the first 10 minutes of the day, but really this is something you can do at any time. So how do you start to bring this in? So the 10 minutes could be so simple. And there's actually studies around movement, and I highly recommend looking into creating this as a 10-minute movement practice. That 10-minute chunks of movement every day builds up through time and through the day. So actually the 10 minutes you might spend if you used to take the bus or whatever, take public transit, really was accumulating and helping your health in the long term. And so there's a study that backs up this 10-minute rule when it comes to moving your body. It also could be something where you take a shower. It could be something where you do meditate if that's a practice for you, but really starting to choose yourself first for 10 minutes a day, and that's it. And I know many of you out there have big lives, big jobs, families, both families in your home and then other members of your family you're looking out for, your friendships. Our lives are really full again. Our calendars are full in ways that didn't used to be. And if you're starting to bring in this practice and you're not feeling very resilient, you're like, I can't handle any more change. I cannot handle, I'm like at the very edge of my capacity to deal with life. This is really for you. How can you start to actually really take a 10-minute intentional chunk for yourself through the day? And so it's something you can do first thing. It's something you can do in the middle of the day. It's something you can do at the end. And give yourself permission to really, truly make it just 10 minutes. And then the other key is to do it every single day. What I find for some people is that if you're an all in or all or nothing person, which by the way, I'm totally that person because I used to do that with that program. Like I was all in on meditation for 40 days and then I was out. So instead of making it an all or nothing kind of a deal, can you actually start to build in a little bit of a chunk, right? Just 10 minutes and just start to practice and build up that muscle of putting yourself first for 10 minutes per day, prioritizing something that really supports you, what really nurtures you and really helps you ground, and then doing it every day and following it up. And the cool thing is once you start to do this and you start to do this for 10 minutes per day, it can start to creep up to 15 or 20 or 30 minutes, but it gives you a lot of permission. If you don't have that space or time in the day, you just take 10. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to make it basic. I'm going to make it 10 and I'm going to call it good. And this is how we start to build that muscle of resilience, starting to build in that muscle of putting yourself ahead of other people. So you're starting to shut down that people-pleasing muscle a little bit as well, and build habits that really allow you to have capacity and groundedness to handle your life and to be in the world in a more powerful way. And really, again, building the resilience that lets you start to pursue your dreams and start to pursue your goals, to see where purpose could start to come into your life. So if you're in for this and you're like, yes, I can do 10 minutes today, just pop in a little, I like a little muscle, like give me a little muscle emoji and tell me, yes, I can do this, because that is really what we're doing, is we're developing inner brain muscles of resilience and strength. And all it takes is 10 minutes. Okay, so pop in that emoji, comment below if you have any questions, and let's do it. Let's do this together. Okay, thanks everybody.